what we normally think of as the YWCA. Please give a listen as we visit with Dorothy Baker and Barbara Kaiser. Welcome to Third World, both of you. Dorothy, now you're a social worker within the YWCA, right?
Right.
Okay, how did this program start? It's called the, well, you give the name of the program.
Okay.
Introduce it.
The program is called the Young Women's Prison Project. Okay. And the program started about a year ago in July. At that time, I was a student at Portland State working on a master's in social work, and I came on the staff part-time as a social worker.
And you were not the starter of this program,
No,
is that correct?
No, the program was started by the director of the program, who started the program by doing volunteer work at the jail, bringing entertainment into women, and for women. And from that time, the program was funded through CRAG, which is the Columbia Regional Association of Government.
I see. So basically, you go within the jail system.
Right.
And you introduce a program to the women there.
Right. Okay. That program is where we teach classes in the county jail. We do employment counseling and psychological counseling.
I see. Now, is there a follow-up when a woman is let out of incarceration? Is there a follow-up in this program? What happens
Right.
then to her?
That gets into the other phase of the program, which is called the residential program. That is when a woman gets out of the jail, she can come and live at the YWCA. And at that time, we develop a treatment plan for the woman and help her to get herself situated within the YWCA for a period of months in order that she might become self-supporting and eventually make the move back into the community.
I see. Tell me, is there an age group within this program?
Most of the women are in their between the ages of 18 to 26, so on an average age about 25 to 27.
I see. Barbara, now you're an assistant social worker, is that correct?
Right.
What is your day-to-day functioning?
Mostly with volunteers to help have women help somebody come into the jail to volunteer their services such as yoga, some arts and crafts, some women's conditioning classes, beauty care. It varies.
So you're basically trying to introduce these women into kind of a self-image or self-help program so they can kind of get back into the mainstream of life afterwards. Now, once they're into the Y itself, how long, you said before that they're there for 4 to 6 weeks,
Okay.
right? What happens?
In the residential
Right.
program. Okay, the residential program is where we try to work very closely with the woman on a one-to-one. What we do is we give a woman a stipend of $40 a week for 4 to 6 weeks. That does not mean that she's out of the program. That means that we provide her with some kind of income until she can find a job.
And since you mentioned that, if you have an employment counselor,
Right.
okay, what about the employers, the people that would hire these women into the workforce? Do they kind of go along with this program? Are they very helpful?
So far, our employment counselor has had to be advocate for the client, and I would say that we've gotten pretty good participation from the employers out there. However, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the area because women who have been incarcerated have a barrier, and that is ex-offenders, and employers aren't ready to employ these women. So we, as an agency, has to act as advocates for the client.
Tell me, Barbara, once a woman is employed, for instance, or she's gone into the educational system, or whatever way she's decided she wants to direct herself, are they allowed to stay within the Y, or once they get a job, do they leave, or what happens?
If the woman is ready to leave, there are a lot of things to look at. But she can stay as long as she wants to. Women have stayed for a year, even longer.
Now, what about those women with families? I'm sure that some of them might have children.
Oh, yes. The children are allowed in the Y, but it's an age limit of 7 years old.
Okay, tell me, how long, you mentioned that they sometimes stay a year, so they'll utilize this program Okay, how is the program funded? I'm not sure.
Okay,
what you
it's
said
funded
before.
through CRAG, which is the Columbia Regional Association of Government, and
Okay,
that
aside
money.
from that, because you mentioned that, but is it also
Okay,
funded with
funded. The
help from the
Y
Y?
comes up with what we call matching funds.
Okay, now
Okay.
that's what I wanted to get at. So the YWCA will have to put in some of their monies
Right,
also.
right. I'd like to talk a little bit about what actually happened in residence is that we developed that treatment plan that I talked about earlier. Okay, and this is geared toward meeting some of a young lady's needs. Okay, and a young lady has to make a commitment that she's going to work on becoming a more positive individual, and that could include counseling. Okay, it also include a one-to-one sponsor, and that's somebody from the community who is saying, I want to reach out to another young lady to help her get herself together.
Okay, well, how would you consider at this time the program has gone
Okay.
so far?
I would say that we have done very well. Out of last year, 11 women in the residence, we had 8 women who have reestablished themselves in the community, have not returned back to the county jail.
Hey, that's quite unique. So what do you look forward to in your program?
Okay, what we look forward to is doing more follow-up. Once a lady is out in the community, we are developing now a recovery program and an aftercare where we will visit a young lady once every 2 months to see if she needs any kind of supportive services. We also developing more programs in the residence so that a girl will have more ways to spend the time. Okay.
Right. How long have you been staffed at the program? Like
6 months.
6 months.
Mhm.
And so it began when?
July 1973.
Right. And how many people are directly involved so far?
Okay, are you talking about clients?
Yeah,
or
no, the staff
clients?
itself.
The staff, we have direct employment counselor, social worker, myself, Barbara.
About four or five people.
Six people.
Okay, that's fine. Look, thanks a lot for coming with us, Dorothy Baker and Barbara Kaiser. Okay, thanks for coming to Third World. And we'll return after this message. Hannah Halou, a foreign student from Ethiopia, is with us tonight. Please welcome her. How are you tonight, Hannah?
That's fine, thank you.
You've been in this country now, a student at Lewis and Clark for about 4 years, and there's been a lot of news recently in the newspaper about your country, Ethiopia. Are you keeping up with what's going on there?
Yes, I'm keeping up as much as I can, and all I'm getting is from the newspapers, and you don't get, as much as you would be getting if I had been at home.
I know that with this new regime taking over, you would have no idea, or no one knows just what's going to happen yet, and you just have to have faith that things are going to go well. But I'm sure coming up under the monarchy of Haile Selassie, you would know. What is the general feeling of the people there under his rule?
Okay, when Haile Selassie was in rule, the people had him as an idol. He is like, everybody knows that his title is Lion of Judah, Elect of God, and King of Kings. And also like his name, Haile Selassie, the word Haile means power. And Selassie means Trinity. And the translation of his name is Power of Powers.
Do you feel like that there's a class society there? Is it kind of run by the aristocrat, the king, kind of a nepotism kind of thing?
Yes, like, okay, on the top, there is the monarchy, in which Haile Selassie, through his blood, like his relation, he claims that he's a descent of King Solomon. And all the people, that means his blood relation, are the only ones entitled to the throne. That means the others, no matter how intelligent and how much they work, they can never get to the position he is in as a king. All of us are subject towards him. Like, well, there is this the class
That time for you
shows
to
that,
say,
you know, there is the
goodbye,
royal
good night,
blood,
and
which is
all that. And like we like to say here, don't let your fun end on Saturday night. We got plenty of entertainment, a lot of good people to talk to you throughout the week here on Third World. We come on every Sunday, same time. We'd like to say this: back what you believe in. See you next Sunday.
Break it down. I feel pretty good this evening. I feel so good that I believe that I can go higher on my saxophone.
Third World is a presentation of KATU's Department of Public Affairs.